Still one short of a quorum.
Yeah, Carl won't be here. I know that for a fact.
Okay. I think most everybody else said that they would.
Yeah.
So Trish, do you have this Zoom set up down pretty well? I mean, I know you have to do it all the time for the planning board.
Yes, yeah, I guess. I still always get nervous though. That something will go awry.
Yeah, I guess I've gotten more comfortable over time in joining in. I haven't really tried to take on hosting or establishing a Zoom meeting, even with my family or anything.
They're all the rage.
Well, if we had been smart, we all would have bought stock early on. Apparently, they did very well.
I never even heard of Zoom before COVID.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah.
Another planning or reunion meeting, George Desser suggested Zoom. What does that mean?
And we have a quorum. Margot's coming.
Right.
Well, the other thing, I guess, that's different about the Zoom meetings, and although it's not so much for most public meetings nowadays, most are recorded, but in the old days, you didn't have to worry that whatever you said or did was going to be recorded and in perpetuity available to the public.
Yes, we are live on YouTube. Keep that in mind.
Sort of have to watch your P's and Q's a little more.
Yep.
So right now, we're waiting for, we have to have 3 of the board members in order to have a quorum, and we're pretty sure that we're going to have more than a quorum based upon everybody's response. Did Mike O'Neill say he was going to be able to come, Trish?
I didn't hear back from him.
Okay,
I only heard from Maria and Margot.
yeah. Well, no, I thought I saw that Amanda said that she would be here at some point also. Or be able to attend, but I can't be certain of that. But I thought I saw that in the correspondence somewhere.
I don't know if I have any phone numbers, but do you want to
Oh,
stick?
there we
phone
are.
calls?
Oh, yeah, Marco's here.
Okay, I didn't realize that Margot was here. She wasn't showing up on my screen. So we have a quorum then, and so I would say that we would call the meeting to order. If the other couple join us, then all the better. It's a short enough subject that if we had to go back over everything, we could, I think. And so I think that at this point, we had the two applications before us, but at this point, I think that the Neil one in Mount Ross they asked to be delayed until January, that's correct? So the one that we are dealing with tonight was the Fremar, am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, and so basically what we would be doing tonight, first of all, so I presume you are Leanne?
I am.
Yeah, all right.
Nice
And
to
I think
virtually
you see our names up on the screen. I'm Scott Chase. I'm chairing this evening. And so basically our role tonight is to look at the reason for the denial and then review your application, assuming that we find all in order. What we would end up doing is setting a public hearing for this is the fourth Tuesday is when we do this, correct? And so we would do a site visit between now and then, probably the day of the hearing. We would come out to the site, and that evening we would hold the hearing to see if your neighbors or anyone else in the community had any concerns. Try to determine how legitimate those concerns were and whether they could be remedied, and we go from there. So that's basically what we're hoping to accomplish this evening. And so I would say that we would let you just, I think probably all of us were emailed your application. I've had an opportunity to look it over, but you may just want to take us through it.
I'll do
Absolutely.
so. Hi, my name is Jess Walker. I'm Leanne's architect. Can I put up the drawings?
Oh, sure.
That would be helpful. Thank you.
Okay, so her property is 381 Skunks Misery Road. It's down a dogleg shared driveway between three properties set off the road, one property deep. So there's actually two other properties between her and the road, and Skunks Misery is a pretty small road to begin with. We are asking for an area variance to build a gym and a garage in a single building in what is technically the front yard setback, although it's not adjacent to a road. And some parking places in that front yard setback as well. The building is located in a wooded area, and there is trees. You can zoom out a little bit. You can see where the road would be over here. This is a shared driveway between Leanne and the neighbor. The dog legs out off through her property to Skunks Misery. You will not be able to see this building from the road. The only other property you would be able to see it from is from this driveway, and she's friendly with those neighbors. It's part of a larger master plan to add a tennis court and do some work by the pool as well. But right now we're just looking for an area variance for the gym and garage building and the parking. So you can see here, we're going from 75-foot front yard setback. We're asking to set back the building 19 foot 9 inches. The building itself is a 2-car garage in front, coming off the existing driveway, which is in the front yard setback. We have 2 parking spaces to the side, exterior parking spaces. So there'll be 2 in the garage and 2 outside. And then a gymnasium with a kitchenette a bathroom, some storage, an open shower for the pool. It's all meant to link into the pool for summer use. And then a tennis court down the way a bit, which would also be in the front yard setback. But we could move that if that became an issue. And then a service drive to the tennis court off of the existing driveway. I think that's it. This final is very simple building. It's all blacks and natural materials meant to blend in with the landscape. And then this is a nice, without the leaves on the trees, this is a nice image to look at to see where we'd be placing the garage. It's really in a completely wooded area.
So the pool currently exists,
The
correct?
pool- Yes, pool
Yes.
currently exists and the house currently exists.
Okay,
The siting is so close to the property line really because of the existing conditions. The house is close to the property line and the existing driveway is as well.
sure.
But it's set so far in from the road that it doesn't feel like a front yard. It doesn't act like a front yard. You're really way well off the road here.
Perhaps either Jess, you or probably particularly Drew as I recall, that there was some special dispensation for that road, and it's a private road at this point, or private access way.
It is a private road. It's joint, it's shared ownership
Yeah.
between myself and my two neighbors. And this access road was created by the previous owner of this house and the other two properties to the south, which they subdivided.
So I guess I'm not seeing any real issues here for me, because the setbacks and things were, when they were written into the zoning laws for, more of a conventional subdivision where you have lots that are lining a public road and you're trying to establish, I guess, some sort of uniformity in the way street or houses would be laid out in a subdivision. In some cases, we even tried to get houses to be a little bit more neighborly oriented by saying you had to be out closer to the road. We didn't want people just isolating themselves way back in the middle of nowhere. Again, I don't see how this lot kind of fits in to that concept. And so, again, just initially, I'm not seeing a real issue with what you are requesting. It doesn't mean that once we get out there or we hear from other people that I wouldn't change my mind, but that's, so the question about the road, again, this road is not likely or maybe not even legally able to be turned into something that in the future would become some conventional subdivision road. That's my understanding, and I was trying to clarify that. And I don't know if Drew has any opinion on that or any more knowledge.
I don't really, Scott. It's shared by 3 properties now. I mean, I guess if someone were to buy one of the back properties and try to do some kind of subdivision, they could propose turning that into more of a private road. But I don't know what the shared agreement is, how it's written.
Yep. All right, well, that's something that I guess we could take a look at more. But again, at this point in time, I mean, there's no impact to the neighbors unless your neighbors come and tell us of one. And you're so far back in the woods. And as I say, this doesn't really fit into what I think was conceived when you try to write these general zoning rules. So at the moment, I'm not seeing a big problem.
Yeah, I think I have spoken to all my neighbors. I think everyone understands the need for a garage, especially with the amount of snowfall that we get up here on Skunks Miz, which is a lot. So I think everyone's really supportive actually of that, because we we all have been, you know, sort of just experiencing a lot of snow and the need for a garage and just a separate outbuilding. Having been sort of living in this house, you know, sort of seasonally for many years, but, you know, sort of, you know, full time for about 2 years. A little bit of extra space is also something that I think everybody, you know, is pretty empathetic about at this point.
Yeah. So the other question that I would have for you, Drew, is would you, if she comes in the future for a tennis court, is that something, when it's flush with the ground, is that a structure that you then have to give approval to, and it would have to come back to us for a variance, or should she kind of include it all in one request? Again, you know me, I'm always trying to save everybody some effort if I can. If we could go through and do both at the same time and save us all issues, I wouldn't be opposed to that either.
Yes, I think that's the way it should be handled then. Do it all in one step.
Okay, sounds
If
right.
that's something that the applicant would be interested in,
Yeah, that would be great. We're gonna, we've been, you know, really just very thoughtful about taking down any trees, and I'm a plant lover. So I think if we could do this all at once, really thoughtfully, that would be ideal.
well, here's, and again, I have to have Drew think about it. And I believe that if we were to issue a variance, construction needs to at least start within 1 year. I don't know if it has to be completed within 1 year, but it has to start, otherwise the approval lapses.
Right.
Drew, do you know how that?
I believe its construction has to start with 1 year. Does the applicant have any kind of time frame for the tennis court?
I think, again, we were sort of, and again, the pandemic and the supply chain situation has thrown us a little bit, but, you know, the goal would be to start, you know, after the sort of the ground defrosts a little in the spring, and work through the summer to get everything done so that by, you know, the end of 2022, you know, everything is in the ground and established, and that would be the ideal timeline. But again, I think, you know, there are lots of things happening, and, you know, with our contractors that are somewhat unknown. So we're trying to be conservative.
a 1 year deadline will be fine.
Okay,
Well,
Then-
and again, I'm not sure that it needs to be completed within that time. It just needs to be substantial construction underway, I believe.
Yeah,
And so even if you were to, for instance, for the tennis court, to clear and put down some base, I suspect that Drew could live with that.
yeah, I think as long as we have a permit issued and we start some type of work, I think we're fine.
So again, I leave that up to the applicant. If you would like to consider adding that to your application, it would seem like something that you might want to do.
That's great. We would be happy to do that.
Mhm. Any of the other board members have thoughts, concerns, questions about this application? Marie, I see you shaking your head.
Yeah.
Margot, are you okay at this point?
I am. I was shaking my head as well.
All right, well, for some reason, you're not showing on my screen. I don't know why that is. It's probably because I'm not doing something right, but, so then at this point, I think it would be in order to have a motion that we accept the application as well.
Amended?
As amended, I guess, and we'll be liberal with that and allow you to add the tennis court and get that into Drew.
thank you.
And
Thank you
then,
very much.
So I think, yeah, so we have, someone make that motion.
So made.
moved.
Okay, and is there a second?
Second.
All right, we have motion and a second. All in favor will say aye. I will say aye.
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 Okay, so we have 3 ayes, so, and then we would set a public hearing for the 4th Tuesday in January.
To the 25th.
Okay. And I don't know, I think you normally advertise those right at 7:30, right?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know, I can't remember. Do we do that with a motion or we just say that that's what we're doing?
No, we just do it. We don't need a motion for
All
that.
right. If there are no further questions or discussions, I would say then we're set for this application for the next meeting.
Thank you very much.
Site visit?
Okay. You're welcome to hang on. Our
Wait.
only other agenda
Wait,
item is to,
site
or you're
visit?
welcome to leave too. It's just,
That-
we're doing it for,
that-
yes, yep.
Don't we need to set up a site visit
Oh, yes, you're right. Good, good.
before they
Good,
leave?
Margot.
No?
It'll be a little bit lighter, but I would say that we need to be there no later than 4:30.
Yeah, to see what's, and they would have it staked out for us.
Yes, and you would stake out both the building and the tennis court, please.
The tennis court it would be hard to access, just given that it's really in the woods right now, but we'll definitely do our best.
Yeah,
And-
even, I mean, it doesn't, I don't think that I'm looking for something that is the dead exact space, but if you get within a couple feet with 4 stakes so that we have 4 corners and perhaps with a different, or even take some tape, some construction or caution tape and tape off the area that it's going to be in. And we found it helpful in the past too, to see
course.
how much clearing is going to be required. I think that may help us also. So maybe there's two levels of, there's the smaller, whatever the surface is going to be, blacktop boundary, and then there's a clearing boundary, or in the case of a tennis court, you'll have an outside fence, I would presume. So,
Yes.
so probably if you just do the outside fence boundary, that's probably fine for us.
Okay.
Any other thoughts? Margot, thank you for catching me on that.
Sure.
All right, then I think that we should be good. So we'll say 4:30. Does that sound good for everybody?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yes.
Thank you,
Days are
everyone.
getting a minute longer every day now. We got past the solstice here.
Hopefully there's no snow that day. That'll be the other thing.
All right. So then
Thanks.
our
Happy
only
holidays.
other,
Goodbye.
Bye,
Likewise.
Jess. Thank you.
Thank you very much. See you
Bye.
soon.
Thank you, Leanne.
Our only other item is the approval of the minutes of the November meeting.
I reviewed them. They look good to me.
Okay.
Look
I
good to
do
me too.
All
Mhm.
right, a motion, I'll say by Margot, and second by Marie, and all in favor will say aye.
I,
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? I hear none. I don't think that we have any, I'm not aware of any other business. Does anybody have anything else that needs to come to us?
no.
All
No.
right. Thank
You have
you, everybody.
nothing tonight. You will have an additional 2 applications next month, it seems like.
Oh, so there's
Okay.
2 more now? I knew we had 1 more, but we got 2 more coming, Drew? Okay.
Yeah, there'll be
All right,
another
so
one.
we
coming.
have a longer meeting, we'll have a
Yes.
45-minute meeting.
You're gonna have a busy night.
Instead of these 30-minute ones that we.
That's
usually-
right. All right. Well, Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New
You
Year to
too.
you.
Yep.
Happy New Year. Have a
Everybody.
great night.
Thanks. You too.
Thanks.
Stay
Bye
well.
now. Take care.
Thank you, Trish.